So today, we're diving into a pretty specific but super important corner of the tech world, the Cisco CCNP service provider, 300-535 SPOTO exam. It's officially called Automating and Programming Cisco Service Provider Solutions, a 90-minute test that's a big deal for getting CCNP Service Provider and DevNet professional certifications. It really zeroes in on how well you can implement automated solutions in these big service provider networks.
Right, and this exam is so critical because it's a direct response to the massive industry shift towards automation. That skill set is quickly becoming non-negotiable for any serious network engineer. It's not just about knowing the hardware anymore.
I see. Diving deeper into what the exam actually covers, it looks like a full spectrum of modern network automation. Candidates have to know their way around Python scripting, version control with Git, and even the different styles of APIs like REST and RPC.
Absolutely. And it's not just about knowing the theory. The practical application is what they're really testing. You have to be able to use tools like Ansible for managing configurations and really understand the protocols like NETCONF and RESTCONF that let you program the network devices themselves.
Okay, so Daniel, when I see the exam covers both NetConf and RESTConf and then asks you to compare them to something called gNMI, what's the real insight there for someone studying?
Well, that's the aha moment. You realize that while NetConf and RESTConf are absolutely crucial for the automation we're doing right now, gNMI really represents the future. It's all about high-speed streaming telemetry and a more modern way of configuring devices. Knowing the difference and when to use each one is what future-proofs your career in a service provider network.
That makes sense. And speaking of career, let's look at the bigger picture, the CCNP Service Provider Certification. Especially with this automation specialty, is a huge career booster. I'm looking at data that says certified pros can earn up to 40% more than their peers without the certification.
That 40% figure isn't just a random number. It reflects the real-world value that these automation skills bring to the table. Companies are desperate for people who can do this, so they're willing to pay a premium. It makes you incredibly sought after.
So, to wrap this up, what are the absolute key takeaways for someone thinking about this path?
I'd say there are a few key things. First, the CCNP 300-535 SPOUTO exam is your gateway to mastering service provider automation. Second, you have to get hands-on with the key technologies: Python, APIs, Yang, and platforms like NSO. Third, remember that this certification can directly lead to a major salary bump, up to 40%. And finally, because the exam is tough and the tech is always changing, using up-to-date study resources like the ones from SPOTO that focus on the real exam questions is probably the smartest way to ensure you pass on the first try.